What's up, guys? This is Star Road Warrior back to do some more additional thoughts on Smash Brothers 4. I watched the last video and realized that I left out a lot of important information, namely some of the characters that I wanted to talk about. So this video will be the other information, and also talk about a couple of things such as new characters, leaks, and all that good stuff, and hopefully what I would like to see when the game is released. But like last time, this I'll be playing Project M in the background, so you can watch the battles, you can listen to me, or you can do both. One of the main characters I actually forgot to mention was Mega Man. Poor guy hasn't had a lot of love since his announcement at E3 last year. He something's wrong with the controllers. Odd. Oh, there it goes. Okay. minor technical difficulties. Now we're rocking. I made a list this time, actually. Nice paper list. And so this time I won't forget anything. So let me set this up. That's the song I was talking about. For anybody that watched the Smash Brothers documentary, you'll recognize that song.
Choose your character.
I'm gonna go all random. For some reason I got an extra controller here. I like how they made the random be Ditto. Okay, just do random stage again. Alright, now to my nice list that I have. First thing I want to talk about was the updates. And normally I wouldn't talk about the updates, but the update for today was talking about Smash Run yet again. And like I said before, Smash Run, whenever I got to play with it, it was a lot of fun. And yes, I realize that it's a thing, but we don't have to keep getting updates about it every week or so. I mean, yeah, we realize it's a thing, so at least leave a little bit of us to explore for our own. I guess that's kind of the thing about the way the updates were handled between Smash 4 and Brawl. In Brawl, we had the big update on kind of like a profile thing. Well, it was like, alright, we have this stage, and here's all the things about the stage. And for Smash 4, it's like, oh, here's one picture of the stage. We're not going to tell you anything about it till a month from now, and then we won't tell you all of it. Even then, it'll still be just small updates. So, like, Brawl's updates gave too much, and then Smash 4's updates wasn't enough. So, I don't know, I guess I need to find like a perfect balance between 4 and Brawl updates. But that was kind of the problems whenever the updates for me first happened, was we weren't getting enough information, and it's always like one screen, and then we go another week and get another screen, and then go 2 weeks and get another screen for one stage, and it really wasn't that, I guess at the time it wasn't that exciting, but now, closer to the release, the updates are more exciting for me, I guess. But like I said, I like the updates, don't get me wrong, but yet another update for Smash Run, yet another update for trophies, you know? Yeah, we realize that that's going to be a part of the game, but do we really need 5 updates about trophies and 5 updates about Smash Run? You know, but I guess one of the things that I do miss about the daily updates was during Brawl, they actually, like when the stage was announced, it was like, here's one of the songs that we'll be playing with this stage. And we never, other than one, like, whenever he was showing off the Final Destination form of Gerudo Valley from 3DS, it was also like, you'll also hear this song playing. And that's the only time that we had, like, confirmation of a song that was going to be played in the game. And I really missed those updates, because I liked all the songs that were in Brawl. And so far we only have one confirmation. I mean, you can watch the past trailers and it'll play a song, like for example the trailer for Lucina Robin and Captain Falcon. There was the old Melee Fire Emblem song, so you know that one's going to come back. And but I mean, that's it. It's just a small piece of what I guess we expect. And some people think, oh, you need to save it for, you know, later. But really, music's not that big of a thing. It's not like you're telling a character, or you're not telling the secret stages or something like that. You're just showing music. And of course, we know Mario's going to be representative, so we know there'll be some Mario music, but which ones is what I want to know. I'm more excited about what songs they're going to put in than they are characters at this point. But that's what I have for updates. If anybody has been keeping close, look on the updates. We have less than 20 updates till the Japanese version of this game comes out. So we're really close now. But that's all I had for updates. I may repeat myself on some of these things, but I have down here stages for the 3DS, and I said I didn't have any problem with the 3DS stages. I actually need to retract that statement. It's not the stage I have a problem with. It's just what happens on this stage, if that makes sense. And I'll talk about this in the Wii U stages also. The Mega Man stage, I like it. I like Dr. Wily's castle and all that. That's not what I have a problem with. What I do have a problem with is the Yellow Devil. If anybody saw the tournaments and did they use the Wily's castle a lot, the Yellow Devil came up and stayed for a really long time. And at first I was okay with the Yellow Devil appearing, but he was on there for so long and did so much damage, and it took up so much space that it was almost like, why bother doing anything else, fighting the other characters, when you had to fight the Yellow Devil to get him off the stage so you could go back to normal fighting. And usually I wouldn't have a problem with this, but it happened so often and it was doing so much damage to so much space that... And it's sad that the Mega Man, he gets the same stage on both the Wii U and 3DS, whereas all the other characters, well, except for Mac, all the other characters get own unique stages, and Mega Man and Little Mac has to share the same stage on both the Wii U and 3DS. And I guess, like I said, just in my opinion, I like the stage, but Yellow Devil is really more of a nuisance than he is anything else. And I'll talk about the Wii U stages and what I thought about those. I also like that we finally get some Paper Mario representation in a stage. And at first I thought it was just going to be Paper Mario Sticker Star, but then there was also like, here's this scene from the Thousand Year Door. And that's great and all. I love Paper Mario, more so the others than Sticker Star, but that's another story entirely. I really hope that the Wii U also sees some sort of Paper Mario stage. I'm hoping that we will, but if we don't, Yeah. What's going on here? Okay, there it goes. Thought it like glitched out or something. But anyway, that's all I have to say about the 3DS. Or the 3DS stages. I hate that Mega Man has to share the same stage, and it's really not that great in my opinion. And a lot of people, before they did the tournament and showed off the stages in action, they were all like, "Oh yes, I love this Dr. Wily Castle. I love that they are doing callbacks to old school Mega Man with the Yellow Devil." And then when they saw that how much damage he does, how much space he takes up, and all this, then they were like, "Stages really isn't that great." That's all that I have for 3DS. I had just about the stages. Now onto the Wii U. The going to the stages. Mega Man stage, like I mentioned before. Going to the talking about the bosses. The Metroid stage with Ridley, or maybe it's Meta Ridley. Ridley. I have to talk about that in a second also. But I really like the Metroid stage. I hope that it's not like the Yellow Devil problem that I have with whoever it may be, Ridley or Meta Ridley. But maybe that's why they have the Final Destination version of those two stages. So that's your way of turning off the bosses. But I do hate that there is we're even gonna have this problem with those bosses. But maybe it won't be as bad when the final version comes out. We'll see. As far as the other stages on the Wii U, I don't have a problem with any of them, except for Palutena's stage, Palutena's Temple. And I don't care for these large stages. They're not that great in my opinion, because there's always going to be one person that goes to the end of the stage and just taunts and taunts and taunts. And you get to them, they're going to go away and go somewhere else. So it's not all that fun playing on a large stage, especially if you were having fun and did like items, and then they're going to be totally useless in this big stage. And there was a video done that like compared the Temple stage from Melee, Port Town City from Brawl, and then Palutena's Temple. And Palutena's Temple absolutely dwarfs the other two stages by a lot. So this is by far going to be the biggest stage in Smash Brothers so far. And if anybody wants to see, go to like Game Explain. They did the comparison of all the stages. So that's all I have for stages for the Wii U. Now back to the characters. And I may repeat myself on some of this. That's okay. I'll just try to get the point across, I guess. Starting off with the old characters, I talked about Bowser being a lot faster. I really can't stress that out a lot. A lot of people will say something, they'll keep stressing about Max air fighting, but nobody mentions Bowser's speed. I guess because a lot of people don't play as Bowser, maybe that's the reason why. But like I said, Bowser is a lot faster. I cannot stress that enough. Unless they tone down his damage, which I seriously doubt, he is going to be a fighter that a lot of people will pick up and probably try. They may not stick with him, because usually if you watch like tournament players, they go for the fastest character, and he's not the fastest one, but he is definitely a lot faster from his past iterations. This game is full of glitches and bugs. These level 9 fighters aren't all that great, I guess. But they're giving me a lot of time to talk. Captain Falcon, we only saw him in that one trailer. And he looks to be the same, really no different. maybe his powers, maybe he's got more greater power or something, but didn't look like his speed had changed any. Oh, finally. The all we saw was his basic attacks. He still got the Falcon Punch, of course, and I've never been a real Captain Falcon player, so I don't, I didn't have like this. Oh, will he make it or will he not? Moving on to Charizard. We didn't get to see him in either version, which is kind of sad because I wanted to see like how different he would be with the Final Smash, where he Mega evolves into Charizard Y or Charizard X, whichever one it is, Mega Charizard. I'm pretty sure it'll be like any other transformations where his powers are just that. He's just stronger and probably faster too. But I like that they went with that design, the whatever version that is, because that seems to be more of the fan favorite one, the black with the blue flames. I think that's Charizard X. I think so. But anyway, I like that they went with that design. Kind of sad that we won't see Pokemon Trainer, but they've done away with switching out characters mid-battle, and I'm going to lose my favorite one, Squirtle, but I guess I'll get all the other ones that I want, so it's not a total loss. Diddy Kong, I don't think he was playable, but he seems to still be the same from Brawl. Couldn't tell from the updates or the images. I don't think we've seen very many videos or trailers with him in it either. So can't really say much about Diddy. DK I kind of talked about, saying he was still kind of the same. That went by too fast. Peach won again, believe it or not. Or Amy won again. Like I said, DK is he's still the same, except for the update to his Final Smash, and the update to the dash attack is now the roll. But other than that, his speed's increased a little bit, and his power is about the same, maybe a little bit more, maybe. I didn't use DK that much, and not a lot of people that I saw use DK that much, so there probably wasn't a lot of DK users there. I talked about Fox. Fox speed is the same as it is in Brawl, and his attacks are about the same. So actually Fox didn't get any, I don't think got any buffs, or I guess it would be kind of a nerf because everyone else got buffs, so he didn't receive a buff, so it's more of a nerf for him. But if you're a Fox user, you'll still find him to be about the same. Except for, of course, you can't do the infinite rapid kick. It now goes into a combo, and that goes for all the characters that had some sort of infinite attack. They now end in a strong attack. So characters like Sheik, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, now they'll have a ender to those rapid attacks. Moving on to Ike, was not playable, but one thing to mention about Ike is I don't know all of the Fire Emblem lore, so please forgive me if I get this wrong, but apparently Ike is like the hero of Blue Flames or whatever, and his attack in Brawl didn't match that. So in Smash 4, if you will notice in the Fire Emblem trailer, as I'm calling it now, he has the Blue Flame attack, so now he's more closely to his character in his respective Fire Emblem game, which is a plus because now it's really cool to see his ether attack be the blue flame. Sadly, we didn't get to see DDD. He's still a powerhouse. He's still strong and probably just as slow as he was in Brawl. It is kind of interesting that his side special is, instead of it being random Waddle Dee, Waddle Doo, and then Gordo, it's now just the Gordo attack, which is by far the strongest one. And it was, if you got the the Gordo and his side special, it was a really strong attack. So with it only being that, I'm pretty sure that that attack's not going to be that strong. But it looks like from the Smash Direct that you could throw it probably an infinite amount of times, and then it'll disappear and you have to throw it another one. So you might be able to rack up hits and damage with that attack, which is pretty good, because that, like I said, that was a strong attack in Smash Brawl. So with the random element taken out, the attack's probably decreased a little bit, but you're able to throw out still a strong attack, I'm guessing. Kirby, we talked about a little bit. Still the same Kirby. I don't think any of his attacks changed, except much like everybody else, just faster and stronger. So if anybody was a Kirby main, you can easily pick up Kirby and do a lot of damage. Link, I think I talked about a little bit. His dash attack's different. His back dodge is different. His recovery, and just about everybody else's recovery, is a lot better too. If you get knocked off a stage and you try to recover back, you're not going to fail, because that recovery does a lot of distance. So where Link had this bad recovery in Brawl and pretty much all the other games, that's not the problem here, and that's the case with a lot of the other characters too. If you get knocked off a stage and don't make it back, it's not because your recovery sucked, it's because you got knocked out of the boundaries. And that's another thing about the stages. The boundaries for them have been expanded, so you could be knocked out, and whoever knocked you out has time to like taunt and pick up whatever items they need to, and probably pick up a Final Smash before you get back. Because you get thrown, you're going to get thrown for a good distance, but you'll be able to make it back like no problem. Unless you mess up a recovery move, or you don't do recovery at the right, I won't say at the right time, because like I said, you will be able to get back to the stage, no doubt, because there were several times where people got hit a long distance and you thought, oh, well, that's it for them, and then they recovered back. So the recovery for just about everybody has been buffed up a lot. So I guess this means more fighting. But another thing about, I forgot to mention this about Fox, his side special, the Fox Stash, it no longer puts you in a helpless state. I can remember times where people would do the side special and accidentally fall off the side of the edge and be in the helpless stage and couldn't get recovered back. This has been removed, so now you can do a side special to up special to do as your recovery. So you have like 2 recovery options for Fox, and you won't be put into a helpless state unless you do that. The up special Firefox. Firefox. But anyway, I did want to mention that. So a lot of Fox players, I'm sure, are happy about that, because I know a few people that would accidentally do the side special and, like I said, fall off the side because they were helpless and couldn't recover back. But this has been changed, so Lucario wasn't playable, sadly. That's another character I would like to play as, because that was one of my go-to fighters in Brawl, and it would have been cool to have seen like the Mega Evolution in Final Smash in action, but just have to wait till when the game comes out to see it. It's been mentioned in the update that his aura has been buffed. That's kind of a good thing, because in Brawl, it only went up in like your attack only went up by 1%, which really wasn't that big of a deal, except you would have to go like from 0 to 35 was like 0 increase in power, from 35 to like 50 was like 1% increase in power, and the only way to get to full increase or full effect of the aura, you had to be like at 160, and at that it's like really dangerous of being KO'd. But your attack only increased by like 5%, and that didn't really seem like much for that high damage. So I feel like now his knockback is still the same. Like 160 is probably really dangerous, but his attack power is probably like 15 to 20% more, which is a lot better for a high risk, high reward kind of character. So if they did that, if they implemented that kind of increase in power, then Lucario is going to be a really strong character at probably any percents, and probably a threat to anybody that can use Lucario successfully. I talked about Luigi and Mario. They're faster, stronger. Luigi had his scuttle jump, and his jump height is probably a little bit higher now because of the animation. But anybody that's played Luigi before, you're still going to be able to pick him up and play him just as good, if not better. So, anybody that's been a Luigi main, you won't have to adjust too much. Maybe adjust his speed, attack, his jump, but everything else is basically the same. He's still the same character, same taunt that does damage, same same jump punch. If you can hit it just right, will knock any character off the stage. I talked about Mario. Mario's still the same. Speed, attack. Still has the flood, for better or worse. Marth. I was never a Marth user, but I've heard a lot of people say that he didn't get any kind of speed buff or attack buff. Basically, he's like Fox. He didn't get very many buffs, so maybe this is a nerf. Which I have a new respect for Fire Emblem after Fire Emblem Awakening, but I still wouldn't have played as Marth because that's not my character type that I would normally pick. But it'll be nice to see that tournament players won't be relying on Fox and Marth. They'll be trying out new characters. And I think that's the main reason why people don't like Smash 4. They're like, I don't want to change. I don't want to learn new things. I want to stick to this old character that I know and I can manipulate. So I think that's the main reason why people don't like the new Smashes. They don't want to change. Don't want to learn new things. They want to stick to what they know. And they just don't want to keep open-minded about it. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. If you're a Marth fighter, you're sadly going to have to probably learn some new things with him. He's not going to be as fast as some of the other characters. He's not going to be fast and strong as his previous iterations. So this is probably the chance to learn a new character, but we'll see. Recently, Meta Knight was announced again, and we haven't been able to see anything about Meta Knight, but in one of the updates, it was said that his shuttle loop attack will strike enemies twice, and along with the swimming mechanic, the glide mechanic has also been removed. And I say the swimming mechanic has been removed. There's only been one stage with water that you could swim on, and that was the Tortimer Island on the 3DS version. And none of those characters were able to swim, which that's the only stage with water, so it would make sense that you would remove the swimming mechanic if only one stage implemented that. So, swimming and gliding has been removed. I'm going to safely say that. Swimming, whatever. Glide probably is what broke a lot of the fighters' recoveries, because you would have this character that got knocked back really far, and they wouldn't even have to use up recovery, they just glide back to the stage with no problem. So that's good to see that the glide is removed, and you have to rely on other tactics to get back to the stage, which, like I said before, your up recovery is a lot better in this game, so it's not a big deal that glide really got removed. Peach wasn't playable. There's not much I can say about Peach because we haven't seen a lot of updates about Peach. We don't even know what her final smash is, if it's the same. I feel like it's not. It's going to be more attack-based than defense-based this time, but only time will tell. Pikachu's basically the same. Increase in power, increase in speed, just like everybody else. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. The final smash it's still the same, but there's like a small lightning orb that's in front of it that you can use to direct where you're going with Peach in the final smash. And I think this final smash is actually a little bit slower, maybe just a tad bit slower. Probably easier to control also. But it's basically still the same. You can go around and attack people with I forget what the name of the attack is. But anyway, you can either attack them or you can press the attack button to do lightning strikes that'll kind of freeze them in place for a few seconds, and then you can use the this is gonna bug me that I forgot the name. Thunder Tackle? No. This is really bad that I don't know the character's name. But anyway, it's like I said, it's still the same from Brawl, except probably a little bit more easier to control. Pikmin and Olimar, the decrease in the number of Pikmins that he can have, but the remove of the random, maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I was never, like I said, never been a Olimar user, but I feel like since you know what the next Pikmin can be, you could easily set it up where you had all purple Pikmin, all red Pikmin, or whatever color you wanted. I feel like if you wanted to maximize his attack, you would go for the purple and white Pikmin. Since you know the order of the Pikmins that'll be out, you could easily set it up to be the order that you wanted. So you could have all purple or all white Pikmin. Maybe that's probably a buff in it. I don't know. We'll see once the game is released. Sadly, Pit was a character that I kind of went to in Brawl, but I never got to use him in the demo version, sadly. But Pit is almost like a new character because of all of his different attacks, and his speed is increased just a little bit. I think his attacks probably are too, since everybody else's is, but his attacks are different. So instead of having the mirror shield, he has the Guardian Overtars, and a lot of callbacks to Kid Icarus Uprising. So I hate that I didn't get a chance to try Pit out, but he feels like he'll still be basically the same, even with the new attacks, because other than the dash arm being his new side special, everything else seems to be the same, except for he doesn't glide like in Brawl. Samus. If anybody saw the Smash tournament, they made the mention of that Samus was the strongest character in the demo build, and because there wasn't a lot of strong characters like I guess saying that Samus was the strongest one is really an understatement. Well, no, that's the wrong word. Samus isn't really the strongest as in terms of attack power, but probably the more balanced character, maybe. Her speed and power fit her perfectly. She's got great speed, great attack power, but anybody that's really a heavy tournament focus it's not going to care about balance. They want to go for a character that's more not really broken, but probably unbalanced. So like a faster character is probably something they would go for. They're not going to care about characters that are balanced. They want one to do really fast to get into the opponent real quick. But if you're going for a balanced character, Samus is probably the most balanced one in terms of speed and attack, being about even for her. But as far as the attacks for Samus, there are I didn't see anything different about Samus other than you couldn't change into Zero Suit, which is probably a good thing because now you don't have to focus on two characters. You can focus just on one, which is probably a lot easier. So if somebody wanted to be just Samus or just Zero Suit, you wouldn't have to go through complicated button presses to change from one character to the other. Speaking of different characters that share the same, Sheik was only playable in the 3DS version, and it's, I don't know much to say about Sheik really. The new attacks, well, first of all, I didn't play as Sheik that much. I only got to see secondhand Sheik. The new attacks, they look good, but they're not that very high damage wise. Of course, it's really all about Sheik's speed, so anybody that's more of a speed character can do a lot of damage with Sheik. Sadly, Sheik did not get her own, or his own, whichever way you're looking at Sheik, its own Final Smash. It's still the same as in Brawl, which is kind of sad because now Sheik is a different character. But I don't know. I don't know what they could have done. Maybe something more ninja-like, like something similar to what Greninja does. But for the most part, I guess it works. Sonic, his speed is still fast. His attacks actually do a lot more damage this time, which is a good thing. A lot of players complained about how his attacks didn't do that much damage. There wasn't a very high KO potential with his attacks. Now there's a lot of KO potential, and he is able to rack up a lot of damage. So we might see a lot more people going to Sonic this time around. I talked a little bit about Toon Link. That was one of my top characters I went to in Brawl. Basically still the same. Final Smash, attacks, basically everything. So there's really not much to talk about Toon Link. Yoshi, I didn't get to see, but I think the only thing different about Yoshi is his dash attack's different. He's more upright, so he's speedier and has more attacks to him. So for anybody that was a Yoshi player, you just got a lot of attack buff, so that's good for anybody that was Yoshi player. I actually have not been a Yoshi player since Melee, so for anybody that's been hardcore Yoshi since the start, you're finally getting those attacks that you rightfully deserve, I guess. Then finally, or last two I have is Zelda. Zelda's basically the same, I guess. And you can't just spam out the side special. You have to actually hit a certain point for it to do the full damage that it deserves. And then of course the down special, didn't see a lot of it. I don't know if that attack's going to be really useful. Maybe in a 4-player match it will, but one-on-one it probably won't be that useful. But then again, players need to get their hands on it to actually get a feel of this attack and use it to its full potential. But I probably wouldn't be able to if I just first started out. Last for the old characters, Zero Suit Samus. Once again, if you saw the Smash tournament, you know how fast and deadly Zero Suit can be, especially with that Final Smash, which is really, really cool. I really like that. Just, we've already got a couple of people that understand Zero Suit and know how to play as her. Just imagine whenever the entire world gets their hands on it and they are able to do maximum damage with really any of the characters, but Zero Suit kind of sticks out to me because she is really fast. But we haven't seen all the characters, so I say she's the fastest right now, but I'm pretty sure, like I said, when the game comes out, we'll really know who's the fastest, who's the strongest. And but right now it looks like Zero Suit, but that's just preliminary results. We need to wait until the game actually comes out before we start making assumptions on that. So that's all I have for the old characters. Now moving on to the new characters. I talked about Greninja. Greninja was really fast and able to zip around the stage really easily. There's going to be another character that I'm sure people will get their hands on and will be able to control his speed to their advantage. His attacks are good and strong. I don't think there will be much downfall to him, except his side special was if you used it, if you used the side special and you went off the stage, you probably went to a helpless state. But other than that, he's still a fast character and a pretty strong character. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays out when the game comes out. Little Mac I played once. His recovery move is not bad. It's just the power of his air attacks are bad. They do. You gotta be really up close. You gotta be. I guess you really don't want to be an air fighter, basically, because you're going to do like 5% damage maybe, whereas some other characters can do 20% damage in the air. But that's the only problem with Little Mac, is he doesn't do much damage in the air. It's not that his recovery sucks, it's that he does little to no damage in the air, and you have to be like really close for him to actually do damage. I don't think many people's going to jump in the air and let Little Mac hit them. They might hit Little Mac, but now we get to a character that I was gonna like until I realized that she was nothing but more of a clone, and that's Lucina. And I really like the Fire Emblem Awakening game. Love it to death. It's one of the best games on 3DS. But there is literally no reason for Lucina to be a clone of Marth. Other than they use this excuse, oh, she's a descendant of Marth. Yeah, so is Chrome, but he's completely different from Marth. I mean, whenever the first it started, the rumors of characters that were going to be in Smash 4, they're like, oh, Lucina is just going to be a costume for Marth, and I've been totally fine with that, like no problem whatsoever. But now that she's on her own separate character and her moves are the exact same as Marth, okay, the blade, instead of the power being at the tip, it's now it's all the blade instead of just the tip. That's how she's different. That's still bull in my book. Like, there's really no excuse for her to be a clone of Marth. None of those moves that she uses are in Fire Emblem Awakening. Like, she has her own unique moveset. And so there's no reason for her to be a clone of Marth. And I hate that for her. I hate that for anybody that was a hardcore Lucina fan, because you got ripped off basically by this character in Smash. And I know I don't need to be really complain that much because I use Toon Link in Brawl, but I really don't. I mean, it's like like picking the character with your while grinding your teeth, because you know it's just a clone, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Maybe since Marth didn't get those buffs as everybody else, and Lucina did, maybe we'll see a lot of tournament players picking up Lucina instead of Marth this time, but we'll see. Basically, I'm tired of seeing Marth and Fox, and now that we'll get to see Lucina in tournament play, maybe this is a good sign. I don't know. I just hate that Lucina is a clone. 100%, I hate it. But on the reverse of that, Robin, I absolutely love. Like, I never thought that they would go for the was basically the created character for Fire Emblem Awakening would be a character in Smash 4, but I am absolutely excited for Robin. I'm definitely going to try out this character whenever the game comes out, because I love my character in Fire Emblem Awakening. It's kind of funny, I did a female character because reasons, and I made a female character with blue hair. So if there's a color change with a female with blue hair, Robin, I will be using that character non-stop in Smash 4. I'll get back to Robin. I need to go through my other list of characters. Mega Man! I can't believe I forgot this character. I mentioned, sadly, he hasn't been getting a lot of love since his reveal in last year's E3. And that was even true back then, too. In a matter of days after the announcement of Smash 4, you saw like these memes and pictures of the villager as some murderous psychopath, and the Wii Fit trainer, talk fit, get shit, or did I say that wrong? Talk shit, get fit. So there's all these different memes for the villager and Wii Fit trainer, but absolutely nothing for Mega Man. In fact, some of the pictures are like, hey, Mega Man's in Brawl. Yeah, we kind of knew that. It's not a big deal. Hey, look, it's Wii Fit trainer. Ha ha ha. And villager, he looks like a murderous psychopath. Blah blah blah. And now we have these other characters that have kind of, I won't say like eclipsed Mega Man, but kind of like taken up more spotlight, like Pac-Man. And there was this time where people were like talking about Palutena before she was revealed, and right now the big thing is Shulk and Ridley, as like that's all people are talking about. They're not even talking about poor Mega Man and Pac-Man and all these characters that they talked about months ago. So the internet's kind of weird. First of all, they're not grateful about anything, and then second of all, they kind of their interests change day by day. But sadly, haven't went back to Mega Man. Speaking of characters, people internet talked about a lot. One of the things I'll never forget is the Mii fighters, and I still hate them. Like nothing you can show me. Oh, they can finally dress up as freaking God or whatever. I don't know. Nothing you can show me will convince me that Miis are a good idea. No mask, no costumes, no nothing is going to convince me that the Miis are a good idea. I'm not even going to acknowledge them. I'm still not acknowledging them. I wrote them down on this piece of paper, and then I like marked through them. That's how much I'm not acknowledging. But I'm still down, so it's... Pac-Man, we only saw in the one trailer, and then the one fight where Sakurai was actually using Pac-Man and then won. It's kind of funny, he used Pac-Man, and then there was like 3 other guys that used Mario, Mega Man, and Sonic, and then of course Sakurai beat them all easily. Or at least I think he did easily, I don't know. I never saw the whole match, I just know that he won. At first I was against Pac-Man because it was all like, oh, he can use Chomp ability and eat pellets, and then his final smash will be he eats the power pellet and everybody turns to Ghost. And then I was like, okay, now what about the rest of his moves? But seeing how they incorporated a lot of the other Namco references into his attacks, and came up with some really unique movesets for him, I'm really okay with Pac-Man. I definitely want to give him a try and see how he plays. Like I said, he's definitely unique, so we'll see how he plays out whenever the game comes out. We don't know anything about his speed or power. We just know what his attacks look like, and that's basically it. And that goes for the next character, Palutena. We've seen, they talked about the custom movesets, and we've seen some of the custom movesets for some of the characters. Like, we've seen all of Mario's, we've seen some for Donkey Kong and Kirby, and some for Mega Man. But we haven't seen, for Palutena, we haven't seen like what her default is. And there's been a lot of people debating, like, oh, this attack will be her default because this. There's still a lot of mystery between her, and which is not a good thing, because when the game comes out, we'll know like solidly what her moves are. But as for right now, I can't really say anything about her, which is kind of sad because that's one of the characters that I was kind of looking forward to in Smash 4. So I guess we'll see what she's like in 2 or 3 weeks from now. I talked about Robin a little bit ago. He's really interesting. I wonder how they keep the updates keep mentioning that he only has a set amount of attack for his Levin sword and his tomes. So I wonder how many attacks he will have, and will smash attacks decrease his use faster, or will he still have, like, he has 20 attacks with this sword, and if you use a smash attack, it'll be 15. So still a lot of mystery with that character too. But one of the new ones, he's really the top ones that I want to pick up and try just as soon as the game comes out. I talked about Rosalina. I had a lot of hands-on time with her. You wouldn't be able to pick her up and learn her immediately. It's going to take several trial and error matches before you understand her completely. But she will be a good fighter to use. Villager, or as a lot of people have now been calling it, Killager. I didn't play as Villager. My brother actually did, and he actually got in some good matches with the Villager. The one thing is the down special, or the tree, planting in the tree, is a really, really, really strong attack. Like, it KO'd me at 50% when I was Greninja, and it actually caught me by surprise that I was at such low health, and that the tree fell on me and KO'd me. I wasn't expecting it, but that is a really, really strong attack, and they're not going to be able to easily get it off, especially in 1v1s, except maybe if you set it to the edge and you knock somebody out, and as they're trying to get back to the edge, you cut the tree on top of them. Probably revealing too many secrets right now, but that would be the only way you'd probably get it off successfully in 1v1s. In team matches, it would probably be a lot easier, but like I said, 1v1, you probably won't do it unless you have some breathing room where you knocked a character off and able to reset or set a tree for them. Only of the new characters, I have the Wii Fit Trainer. I talked a lot about her, how she's an up-close fighter, which is good for anybody that's that kind of style. I learned some interesting setups and some interesting combos with her that I will not be telling because I want to keep it a secret for myself. And if anybody versus me, and whenever the game comes out, you'll probably figure out what I figured out. But for right now, I want to keep those secrets to myself. But that's it for the characters that I have. As far as new characters, or any character that hasn't been revealed, like I said before, it's pretty much given that the Brawl characters will return with the reveal of Meta Knight. The only characters that we have left that were not secret, that need to be, or I say need to be revealed, that haven't been revealed yet, are Wario, Lucas, and Ice Climbers. There was a interview where Sakurai talked about Ice Climbers, so we know that they're coming back. There was the drawing on the marker board where he drew Wario, so we know Wario is going to be back. Lucas is an interesting one. He wants a lot of people like to say that he's just a clone of Lucas is just a clone of Ness, which is not 100% true. It's not even 70% true. It's probably about 40% true. But I feel like at the very least Ness will be back. Lucas, I don't know. I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no. I'm just gonna go. But we know that there's going to be representation from the Mother / Earthbound series because we have the Franklin badge has been confirmed as returning, and it had the Earthbound logo or the Mother logo that's been in all the past Smash games, so it's pretty much given that one's going to be back. As far as the secret characters, they're just secret. Sadly, I don't think that we will see Snake return. I don't think we'll see Rob. I really hope not, because that was like the #1 character that I hated in Brawl was Rob. I'm trying to think what else. Wolf is another interesting one. I don't know. I don't want to say yes and don't want to say no. That was probably another character that I didn't like. For characters that I liked, I did not like. Rob was #1, and then Wolf was #2. So the Game & Watch, I'm sure, will be back. I'm trying to think of Jigglypuff will be back, of course. Any other characters that a lot of people like to speculate and say, oh, rumors and stuff, and this guy leaked this image, and that means that this character's coming back. A lot of people have been saying, like, Shulk, like they want Shulk. I don't think that Shulk will be in it, mainly because it was such this big deal about trying to get the game to the Western audience, and getting a character from a game that took fan petitions and Operation Rainfall just to get the game to the Western audience is not looking good in his favor. I know that's probably a really bad reason for that he might not be in the game, but I mean, you gotta look at it reasonably. Do you think this it took a lot of fan petition to get a character, or you get a game to your region going to get a character in there? Which, granted, yeah, I know Lucas, Mother 3, and Marth and Roy, Fire Emblem, but I feel like that's probably different. But I don't know. I don't think Shulk will be in there for good reasons or bad reasons. I just don't think Shulk will be in there. A lot of people want to speculate that there's going to be a grass starter Pokemon being in the game, and I don't think this is true either, because like I said, Jigglypuff will be back. That'll put the Pokemon at 5 representatives, and I don't think they're going to do more than 5 representatives, especially Pokemon. Like, maybe Mario might see more than 5 representatives, but Pokemon wouldn't see more than 5, so I don't think that we'll see any sort of grass-type Sceptile or any kind of other Pokemon other than, at the very least, Jigglypuff and maybe Mewtwo. Like, that would be the only ones that I would see, and that'd be it. There was a leak that came out last night, this morning, depending on your time zone, and it was like, oh, these pictures are from the ESRB. They were reviewing the game, and this is the full roster of characters, and it showed off like characters that haven't been announced, like Ganondorf and Wario, Mr. Game & Watch, Dr. Mario, Pit, actually a Dark Pit, I'm trying to think who else. Oh, and Duck Hunt Dog, which I saw the images, and I thought they were fake. in which it was actually confirmed later that they were fake, but it wasn't the Duck Hunt dog was in it that made me think it was fake. It was actually the placement of the characters that made me think that it was fake. They had the top row, which was Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser Jr., and then at the very bottom of it they had Dr. Mario. Then they had the Fire Emblem characters, Ike, Marth, and Robin, and then at the very bottom of the list was like Lucina. So the character position was all, like, it didn't make sense. Like, they had a couple of characters grouped over here, and then one from that group somewhere else. In all Smash games, they had all the characters kind of grouped together. Like, you had all the Mario characters, you had all the Donkey Kong characters, you had all the Kirby characters, and then the characters that just had one from their series was in a row by themselves. So that's what made me think it was fake, which, like I said, it was eventually confirmed to be fake. It was really, really well done fake, but fake nonetheless. I've been going on for way too long. I've got to wrap this up. I have one more kind of character to talk about, and that is Ridley. At this point, I feel like people are just trolling with Ridley needs to be in Smash 4. Ridley needs to be in Smash 4. Like, it's now 100% troll. Just like people wanting Goku or any other kind of anime characters. Like, it's just a troll now because, for better or worse, Ridley is going to be a boss character in the Pyro stage. The only reason why Sakurai, or anybody for that matter, hasn't just fully came out and confirmed or denied the character as a playable fighter is because it's curiosity. I mean, leave it up to debate. Is Ridley going to be a character? Is it just going to be a boss? You got to buy the game to find out. I mean, that's just how game developers work nowadays. I mean, there was this video about secrets of Mega Man 9, where if you got to so far in Endless, another secret would appear. And there's been these videos of people going so far as to hacking the game and fixing it till they get to the 99,000 level of Endless and still not finding him. Seth Killian and a lot of the people at Capcom were being like, "Oh, you're so close, just a little bit more, and then they would get to the maxed out thing, and they still couldn't find anything. And they're like, "Oh, you gotta try harder, you gotta do this, you gotta do that." The reason why they haven't said, "Oh, you found it," or "There is no secret," is because they want these people to buy the game and actually explore it to its fullest, to see, or just play the game. That's all they want them to do, is just sell the game, and you, the sorry, curious people that you are, to play it and figure it out for yourself. But anyway, I don't think Ridley's going to be a playable character. It's going to be just the boss in that Pyro stage. And these people might not like it, but it's for better or worse, it's how it's going to be. But anyway, that's all I have to say. I've pretty much exhausted all my breath. My voice is going and cracking. But that's all I have to say. We'll let this match play out. Let's find out who the winner is. But thank you all for watching this really, really long video. I did not have any intentions of it being this long. I actually wanted it to be about 30 minutes instead of an hour. But anyway, thank you all for watching this. Only just a few more days until Smash 4 is released in Japan. And all our questions will be answered, whether we want them to be answered that way or not. So anyway, I'm excited for the game. As always, I'll be playing a lot of it whenever it comes out. I'll be playing a lot of the English version that was intended for me, not the Japanese version like a lot of people are doing. Yeah. Anyway, this match is going on for far too long. If you have any if I missed anything or you want to add to my thoughts, feel free to let me know. I probably won't do another video related to Smash. Me and my brother might be playing some Project M. Other than that, I don't have any other thoughts on this game until it comes out. But that's it for this. Thank you all for watching this again. I'll be back later with probably more videos. Goodbye.